Okay, so here it is Mother's Day, and I figured it was a good day to update this, because it's been a while. So, um, let's see. Since the last time I have talked on here, Danny actually got laid off from his job in Georgia, and he came home for about 2 weeks and hit it hard looking for a new job around home. And every day he was on the phone, we were sending resumes, but nobody got back with him. And, obviously there's not much you can do if nobody's returning your calls or getting your resumes, but he had a friend that had worked with him in Wyoming, which is where he was 2 years ago. He was out in Texas working, and he said he could get Danny on that job. So I think it was the middle of April, he left to go to a place called Nacogdoches, Texas, which is 15 and a half hours away. It definitely wasn't easy for him to leave because he had been home for 2 weeks, and Caleb had gotten very used to having his daddy home. He he would wake up and let me sleep in, which I always appreciate. And Caleb looked forward to seeing him every morning, and they went for their walks every evening. So it was hard for Caleb to see him, I think, 'cause thankfully he's not old enough to remember this, but he did, when he does understand that you're leaving. So when he left, Caleb stood at the screen door, and just went bye. And I think for the next couple of days he was really like looking for him. He'd be kind of lonely and looking around for Danny. So it was kind of hard, but I've told Danny we should be very thankful and blessed that he actually has a job, because it was looking like there wasn't even going to be any work at all happening for us. And then we should be very thankful that Caleb is as young as he is, so he doesn't remember this when he's older. I would much rather him be away when Caleb is his age now than have him be 5 or 10. Caleb can ask me where his dad is and why his dad has to leave, and that's a little harder to explain. The job is for 6 months. So I don't know when we'll get to see him. I've had a lot of people ask when I'll get to see him, and I have no clue. Danny has mentioned me flying out there, but I would much rather have Danny fly home than me go out there, just because it's not so easy. Me being by myself with a baby in an airport, on a plane, layovers, I would just much rather have Danny do it than us come out there. But he's going to try to come on Memorial Day, but it's not for sure yet. And it would just be for a long weekend. Besides that, while Danny was here, we actually got to do an interview with the Health Science Center at Shands, which is where Caleb was at the hospital, and they were doing like a patient care initiative to kind of tell the staff there at Shands how going above and beyond can really impact a patient's life. And as many of you know, I have nothing but kind things to say about our nurses, our doctors, everyone there at Shands. It really made a difficult time a lot easier, so I jumped at the chance to say anything positive about them. And they came to the house and actually did a video interview with me. And then for Caleb's appointment, which was April 20th, they had followed us with a video camera and actual camera to take pictures and do videos of us kind of reuniting with the nurses and the doctors who helped us for so long. It was really nice, because I love to see them. If I can take any chance at all to go see them, I get very excited to see them, because I love to see Caleb's face when he sees them and how they get to see how much he's changed. And he has changed a lot, so it's always fun for them to see. Beyond that, my parents got to come down for Easter, and that was very nice. They're only going to stay about 4 days, but it's nice. I always look forward to seeing them, because the last time they were here, it wasn't very much a vacation at all. It was, hospital stays and worrying and everything about Caleb. So this time it was fun for them to be there when Caleb was actually home, and there was no stress about anything. So we had a really good time. Caleb got to go swimming for the first time. He went last year, but we were very scared because he had his feeding tube in, and we just were very antsy, I guess, around the feeding tube. So it was the first time actually getting to swim, and he doesn't love it, but he doesn't hate it. I think he just likes it for a few minutes and he's ready to get out. I'm thinking he might like it a little bit better when it gets really hot there and the water's nice and warm. But we had a good time there, and Mom had a good time in the pool, and that's always fun. But we didn't really do too much. We had a small Easter. It was just nice to have family again, because you never realize how much you love and miss your family until you're not around them. So it was nice. And then when they left on a Tuesday, and I actually went with them, but not many people knew I was coming home to North Carolina. I kept it a secret. So it was nice. But before I go into that trip, I meant to say at occupational therapy, Caleb walked by himself. And we were so excited because he's been wanting to try so hard, but he took maybe 3 steps and fell. And he hasn't really done too much since then. He's very content with crawling because, you know, walking is still very new, so he can't do it very fast, but he can crawl extremely fast. So I think he's just kind of like, why do something new and slow down my speed? But he did do it, so I'm very excited to know that he has a desire to, and he is progressing normally in the way that he should be. And then, okay, so back to going home to North Carolina. I actually came home and we drove straight through. And when my parents had come down to Florida, their van had messed up, so we had to pick it up on our way back. And so this was a 12-hour long trip. We made it in one day, which I can't do by myself with Caleb. But since we had all of us in one car, it was a little easier. But it was a long, long, long trip, and Caleb slept maybe 45 minutes to an hour. He's not a car sleeper, so the last hour and a half was miserable. He was just ready to get out of the car. But yeah, I didn't tell many people. There was a lot of people in my family didn't even know I was coming, because I'm only planning on staying for 2 weeks, and I just didn't want to tell everybody and make all these plans to see everybody, and then it doesn't happen, because I always feel like I disappoint somebody, and it just gets very overwhelming for Caleb. I mean, so far while we've been here, he's had kind of a rough time going to sleep and staying asleep, just because he's in a new place, he's not in his crib, he's in a pack and play. But he's adjusting pretty well. He's doing better than I honestly thought he would do. He's very excited though, because my parents have a cat, so he is thrilled every morning when he sees that cat. But he's teething too. He's getting, I think it's these teeth right here he's getting in, and I have had parents tell me those are worse than the molars, and I did not believe him, and I absolutely believe it now. This has been miserable. The whole time we've been here, he's been very cranky, whiny. He hasn't eaten much. He's not drank much. And we know those teeth are coming in, and it's hard. I can't wait for him to come in and get a break. Just a break from teething. So, I don't know. He's been doing okay. Trying to think of it. Oh, when I went to the cardiology appointment, Dr. Fricker, his cardiologist, did say that he thinks the sinusoids have closed up, which would be amazing, because if they've closed, then that would mean hopefully no transplant. And that's ideally what we're looking for, is because that's just a bigger problem than another heart surgery. But we won't know for sure until it's heart cath, because obviously when you're looking at a 2D image as opposed to a 3D image, because you're in there in the coronary arteries, it's a little different. So I'm still not trying to get my hopes too high, because I don't want to be let down if he ends up having to have a heart transplant, because, you know, it's going to save his life either way, so I'll take whatever we can do. But right now, like I said, it's Mother's Day, and I'm enjoying it, and it's just very calm and relaxing, and I'm honestly the happiest that I'm home with Mother's Day with my mother, and so it's very fun to be here, and I think we're just going to go out later, maybe go around Hickory, the big city of Hickory. But I hope everyone else is having a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day, and I hope you all realize how amazing you guys are and how amazing it is to be a mother. And I hope that so many of you take that job seriously. It's very special. It's something I hold very special in my heart, and I love being Caleb's mom. And I want to thank you all for your prayers again, because I know you continue to pray for him, and it's something that I really, really appreciate, and I thank you all and love you all. Bye.